Okay, multis. So in this video, we are going to create a multi, which is really the preferred file organization in the industry. It's the best way to share files across collaborations, to show directors, to show mixing, post-mixing professionals. So here's what we're going to do. To do this, first we're going to create a new contact track. Right here, I'm going to go to contact. But instead of going to stereo, I'm going to go to multi-output, 16 times stereo. And I am going to load up 3 instances of strings. I'm going to go back to where we just were, VSL strings, and I'm going to load my violin ensemble, legato. That will be number 1 on top. There it is. I'm now going to go with viola ensemble, legato. Double click. It automatically assigns MIDI channel 2. Don't worry about that. And then I am going to finish with cello ensemble legato. Okay, so we have our 3 instruments right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit X. This brings up our mixer window, and what we want to do is this is our new strings channel, and we're going to hit plus to create 2 more aux tracks. I'm going to name these things. This one's going to be violins I should say, then viola, plural. You don't need to say violas, you can if you want, and celli, to use the correct Italian plural. Okay, so we have our 3 outputs. We're now going to go back to here, and you'll notice there's only 1 channel. We need 3. So what I'm going to do is select the other 2 channels, and I'm going to right-click down here, create track. And what this does is automatically creates tracks up here in the arrangement view. Okay, so I'm going to hit X again. Now we should be able to hear our different instruments. Yes, so that's the sound of celli. Yeah, but unfortunately we can see the audio is only showing up here, so we need to do more work. So what we're going to do is go back to our multi, which is on this channel here. And what we need to do is to open up our output section. Down here, I'm trying to figure out how to show you this. Unfortunately, my window's a bit big. So I'm going to hit batch configuration. Right under here is batch functions. I don't think you can see this right now, unfortunately. Rename, I'm sorry, the third and bottom option is split instruments routed to first. You're going to click that, and you'll notice that the outputs now have changed. And down underneath, you'll see a new array of mixers, of faders, I should say, for each channel. So now we're going to get out of here, press V to close our pane, and go back to our original window. Now when I click here, okay, so that's great. We're still not quite done. What I want to do is group these all together under the subgroup strings. This will be very helpful for later on mixing. So I've grouped the 3 of them together. I hit Apple Shift D, which brings up this little window. We're creating a track stack. What we want is a summing stack, which will combine the audio. The folder stack simply puts them together. It leaves audios the way they were, but summing will combine those audios onto 1 channel. Create. We can fold it up, and we can unfold it. We will call this strings. Strings. Whoops. It's very dark in here. I can't see anything. There we go. Okay. So now I should be able to play my different instruments expressively. I should be able to do the same thing with my viola. what's nice now is that I can pan my violas over here. I can pan my violins over here, and I can put my cello all the way over here. Kind of like a real orchestra situation. So now we have 3 expressive legati instruments that are capable of creating much more realistic orchestral mock-ups. Mock-up is a phrase we use when we send a mock-up to a producer. We're kind of saying, here's what it would sound like if you give us the money. It'll sound with a real orchestra a lot better. But your mock-up should be as good as it's possible to convince the producer to fork out the money. So I'm going to stop this and we'll continue with the next video. So before we close out, I want you to make things real easy on yourself. You can actually save this bundle or this multi that you've built. First you save here. You go to contact and we're going to save multi as. Let's call it string multi 1. Okay. On top of that, we can do something else, which is to actually save the channel setting, this group. So we're going a layer over, we're going a level up at the top level. What we can do is, if we go to our actual strings channel here, I'm going to go to X, brings up my mixer window, I'm scrolling up. So here we are, strings. I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to hit setting. And what I'm going to do is save channel strip setting as. And I will call it string. Actually, I'm going to go over here and put it in instrument. And I'm going to call it string multi 1. So what that means is when I open a new file, instead of having to go through all of that palaver again, if I go here to setting, down here it says string multi 1 now as a setting that I have just saved. I can click it. It will load. Well, it didn't work, but you get the idea, and that's something that I will remedy.